The Ashanti-British War of the Golden Stool, also known as the Yaa Ashantiwa War, was led by Queen Mother Nana Yaa Ashantiwa with an army of about 5,000. During the fighting, Queen Yaa Ashantiwa and 15 other closest advisors were captured, and they too were sent into exile to the Seychelles. Her dream for an Ashanti independent from colonial rule was realized on 6 March 1957, when the Ashanti Protectorate gained independence as part of Ghana. Ghana was the first African nation in West Africa to achieve this feat. She was a successful farmer and mother, an intellectual, a politician, a human rights activist, a queen, and a war leader. Nana Yaa Ashantiwa died in exile in the Seychelles on 17th October 1921.
Genuine business people desirous of success in today's environment ignore the taxman only at their own peril.
The idea we have is, can we not use NIN, that's the National Identification Number, as a unique and primary identifier for individuals? For businesses and corporated entities, we use CAC registration.
Hello and thank you for joining the Monday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Today on the program, elder statesman Edwin Clark tells President Tinubu to adopt doctrine of necessity to solve Ondo political impasse. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Kolawole Johnson. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. There's hope of a fall in the price of cooking gas. This follows the decision of the federal government to remove imported liquefied petroleum gas, LNG, also known as cooking gas and its associated equipment, from the list of payment of custom duty and value-added tax, VAT, 2 years after its reintroduction. The move is expected to result in a drop in the costs of cooking gas, which has skyrocketed nationwide, according to the Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister for the Economy, Wale Edun. The new policy is in line with President Tinubu's commitments to improving the investment climate in Nigeria and supply of LPG to meet local demand. Jide, this will be a welcome development, especially for this festive period.
Yes, if that is if all the people concerned agree to brush aside their appetite for profiteering needlessly. We've been told by gas sellers that the so-called super agents were making so much money from selling the commodity to the marketers. They collect it from the parents' company and then add so much money to it in a manner that is unbearable for gas sellers. This issue was raised a couple of weeks back, and I thought that it was necessary to address that. There is also the problem of the oil majors, the international oil majors, focusing so much on export rather than concern themselves about the domestic market. If your concentration is simply to produce gas for export, and you take your eyes away from the local market here, gas insufficiency will persist. So the minister was telling them that, look, yes, export is important, but you cannot ignore the domestic market, because if you refuse to produce for the domestic market, the commodity will will remain scarce, and when it's scarce, the price will inevitably go up. So a situation in which you are buying gas at 1,000 naira per kilogram is not ideal at all. We want people to stop using firewood for their cooking because it hurts the environment. Now gas is safer, gas is cleaner. But how do we encourage people to continue to use gas when the price of gas is prohibitive? A 12.5 kg bag or cylinder is 12,500. So it's basically 1,000 naira per kilogram at this time. This was gas that we used to buy at 3,000 some years back. So it's really a big problem. But I'm sure that with the removal of LPG from VAT and the custom duty list, definitely the price ought to come down. But our people need to be monitored. If we don't monitor them, they will behave like nothing has changed. And they are going to point at, oh, the transport cost too has not changed. This one has not.
Like hurting.
Yes, they will start saying all kinds of things. So they need to also monitor them. If the desire is to bring down the price, there has to be vigilance. You have to monitor them to ensure that they are still not exploiting Nigerians.
Kolawole, this will be like a soccer if it's affected this season.
Yeah, sure. Because the government is trying to make things easier for the people, knowing well that the economy is biting enough. But it is not just, this was reintroduced. It was taken away in 2019, but reintroduced in 2021. I remember a time like that, the government said they were going to roll out cylinders so that it can be cheaper for the people to buy, which was contributing to the cost of the cooking gas itself. With this measure, let's see how much impact it will make on the process. But don't forget that the fundamental issues, factors that are responsible for the increase in prices. First, the devaluation of the naira tactically, then availability, because you don't have it yet. The demand is there and the supply is not there. So as much as you have that shift in equilibrium in supply and demand, you should expect the effect on the price. And this time around, it's on the upward direction. But with this also, it shows the government is aware that you need to attend to the people directly, especially when number of those who are using cooking gas are growing in Nigeria due to urbanization. Of course, a very large proportion of the population still rely on all the alternate fuels for cooking, like firewood. But that also is going into, it's reducing the cost of urbanization process. More homes are embracing the cooking gas. So, of course, you have more demand for return. We need to increase the supply. And unfortunately, the suppliers, aside the NLG, the Borno River State, aside from them, the independent suppliers are not able to access because of other factors. But with this, let's see the import in the system. We hope that it will affect it for good very quickly, and it will meet with this very season. But what they have bought before, what they have brought, they will need to sell at the price that they bought.
No, the dealers were complaining that the LNG sells to terminal operators at 10 million per 20 metric tons.
Yeah.
They then go on to sell. They then go on to add 7 million on top of on every 20 metric tons, which means that they make a profit of 7 million.
It's not directly it's not that straight because, take for example, you look at the price of diesel, it has increased, and they need to move this product, from the depot to the different part of the country. Look at what it will take them to move it from Lagos, say, to the far north or the far east. So all of this cost,
Are you saying that 7 million, because the dealers are in the same business with them?
Yeah.
You must have factored all of this.
Now, if they are selling
if you are adding, if you get the product for 10 million per 20 metric tons, you then sell to the dealers at 17 million. The dealer too still needs to make money. So they are saying, look, what these guys are adding, what the terminal operators are adding to it is just too much. That is the complaint, and they told the minister to intervene. I don't think that it's such a bad thing if you aggregate all your costs, but there are times when people just deliberately want to profit from the misfortune of everyone. People, we have to get to that point when we can't simply allow people to sell a product at the price that they like, because you have to look at the political economy of it. People are suffering, and at the end of the day, they will blame government. But some individuals have deliberately made this thing so expensive for the ordinary man. That is the point. What is right? The right pricing, for example.
I think
that does not amount to cutthroat.
That is where the government should also come in, and the NMLG. Why? Because it's not like, of course, it's a liberalized market, only tactically, but you can still have the invisible hand controlling indirectly because you supply the product. Now, since you know what the cost will amount to, you can have some agreement on what they can sell at different locations, and I think maybe that is why the government should look beyond the VAT and the removal.
Because it may not be enough to bring down the price.
Yes, it may not be enough. So we look at this aspect too to ensure that the household gets this product at a fair price.
All right. Now, the issue of women participation in politics and governance remains topical and critical in Nigeria. Of particular importance is achieving gender equity in leadership roles, policy making and project execution. As such, opinion leaders in Kaduna State, northwest Nigeria, are advocating policies to promote this in the country. Let's share the story by TVC News' Lupa Asom with you.
Academics, security experts and professionals from diverse backgrounds came together at Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria to chart a course for improved security across the African continent and gender mainstreaming. The 3-day conference explores the links between gender dynamics, security challenges, and their impact on sustainable development goals. Experts in gender studies say the conference is a stitch in time.
The Africa we want. The framework is Africa's blueprint and roadmap for development. These two frameworks provide the bedrock of sustainable development ambitions, goals, and strides in Africa. Both put gender at its center and reflect the need for a gendered approach to policy implementation as regards each of the SDGs implemented at global and national levels.
The level of insecurity in Africa, especially in our country, Nigeria, is worrisome. The various indices of insecurity manifested in the form of insurgency, banditry, kidnapping, cattle rustling, farmer-herder clashes, regional self-determination for succession, militancy and political violence are adversaries and impediments to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals.
Special guest of honor at the occasion, who is the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, ably represented, acknowledged the pivotal role of women in peace and development. He also stressed the urgency of enabling women's involvement in decision-making processes.
Empowering women is not just a matter of justice, but a strategic imperative for sustainable development. And therefore, the 10th House of Representatives, under my leadership, is dedicated to enacting laws that would further expand opportunities for women to ensure their rightful proposition in governance and politics within the nation. As outlined in our legislative agenda, the House aims to propose amendments to the Constitution to establish reserved seats for women in both national and state parliaments.
Nigeria's Army Chief Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja declared the Nigeria's Army's commitment to formulating gender-friendly policies. And like the Speaker of the House of Representatives, he also emphasized the importance of inclusivity and equality in the armed forces.
Effective internal security architecture is key for actualizing gender, security, poverty, and sustainable development goals in Nigeria because it involves the design for protection and keeping peace, including improved human security within the borders of a sovereign state. This is attained by upholding national laws and defending against internal security threats. It involves the police and paramilitary forces as primary internal security agencies, requiring little or no use of the military unless in overwhelming internal threat situations. Advanced armies of the United States, United Kingdom, Germany, and France, among others, have continued to develop special capabilities through the Women Corps. In this line, developing nations such as India, Sri Lanka, and Nigeria have also keyed into the concept of developing the role women play in the military. The Nigerian Army Women Corps was established in this regard for some of these bases.
The event was organized by the Gender Policy Unit of Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria, Kaduna State, in collaboration with the Center for Gender Studies at Bayero University in Kano. The collective call here echoes the need for African leaders to move beyond rhetorics and translate commitment into action. Lupe Asom, TVC News, Zaria.
See trouble. So today, I said I should treat myself as salary just enter. I ordered my food and was looking forward to demolishing all the orishi.
Baby, for service. Are they run?
Oh yeah, time to pay rich now.
Food where you never pay for.
Now here my card begin acting. Hey.
You know what?
You know what? Okay. After debiting me, it's like this one wants to find my trouble. See premium dragging. Oh, because this card did not work.
Save yourself the embarrassment. Get a card that works with MoneyPoint's personal banking. Download the app, request for a card and have it delivered to you in 48 hours. Experience banking on point because your money no go hang.
In today's world, our lifestyle, both at work and at play, depends on connectivity. Our connectivity depends on the devices that make it possible, and these devices depend on electric power. When power fails, our life shrinks, our work drops, and our joy dips. JRB Solar Energy Systems are here to ensure that we enjoy uninterruptible power, uninterruptible joy. Whether you're running a business, an institution, or just a home you return daily to rest, JRB has got you covered. No project is too big for our super digital inverters, long-lasting batteries, and efficient solar panels. Go. Dream on. Change your world. JRB solar inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar streetlights, and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. With JRB, the sun's gonna shine on everything you do. Unwrap joy, unleash taste.
Thank you for staying with us. Jide, achieving gender equality in leadership roles, policy making and project execution, women participation in politics.
I've always demanded that we give women more opportunities. Look at Okonjo-Iweala today. Who is that parent who would not want to have a child like that? We discriminate, we think that the boy child is superior and all that. And both are gifts from God. And there are people who are dying to have a daughter, a child, whether a daughter or a male child. But some of us discriminate. Culturally, we think that the boy child is superior, and this has to stop. Just look at Okonjo-Iweala.
With that one, you don't need 7 others.
You don't need that. If you have just that one, globally respected, everywhere she has served, she has excelled. I don't think that any parent would not want to have a child like that, you know. So, and I remember Oshiomhole, former governor of Edo State, saying that Nigeria is due for a woman as president. But today, we've not even been able to produce a woman elected as governor in our country. A woman elected as governor. We've not produced one. You know, we've had women who became acting governor. That's not what I'm saying. A woman that Nigerians voted for as governor and won the election. We've not had that. And I think we are due for that. Let's even see what the women will do. But I'm confident that if they get a chance, some of the risks that men take, women are not prepared to take such risk. I'm not saying that all women are saints, but I know that when Obasanjo gave those women a chance, the Akunyilis of this world, we saw what they were able to do. So we must create a situation in which women get to play a much greater role in nation building. We need our women to come to the forefront of nation building, and we have to make the system, make it possible for the system to enable greater women participation, whether through legislation, whichever way we are going to do it, we have to find a way. When you look at countries of the world that have a good number of women in their parliament, for example, women in governance, you see countries like Rwanda, even South Africa, they are well ahead of Nigeria. The whole of the Northwest, for example, show me the woman who managed to win an election, maybe into the, what's it called? Even in the Northwest, for example, even House of Assembly. You know? So things have got to change. Like, it's even getting worse. When you look at
the statistics,
yes,
the number of people,
it's getting worse in terms of number of women.
In the National Assembly.
Yes, National Assembly. You know, it's very difficult now.
Kalawale, when you see the numbers since 1999, when you do a comparative analysis, you discover that no, we're not there at all.
Well, statistically, yes, you can say we are not there. But I look at the process. If you want to mainstream women, if you want to increase their participation in policy formulation, you look at the process that leads to that, that leads to them being there. It is a leadership recruitment process, and the first is the electioneering process. How has that process fared over time? If we compare ourselves with South Africa, Rwanda, the number of women in power, you know, the access, you know, of women to power, you look at that process itself, the electioneering process, the kind of things we do in the system, will that give enough room for the women to participate? Now, the cultural angle there in a place like Northwest, is that also not a challenge for women participation in the process, leading to them being part of policy formulation process? Now, aside from that, the psyche itself and the way we conduct the affairs and politics, the violent approach, all of these are contributing to why women are not having the numbers there. Unfortunately, the end result is what we are addressing. We are not looking at the process. So for me, I think we should look at the process. If you reform the electoral process, the electioneering process, where you have an even playing field, and the process is like, okay, what you garbage in, garbage out, I think we'll have more women. If the process depends, strictly on what you can give, and not on many other areas that women may not be able to, participate equally. Don't forget that also access to resources. Women are affected, and you need resources in the game of politics in Nigeria. So as long as you have all of these factors in place in the process leading to governance itself, leading to policy formulation, or being part of the process, that would be an issue. We had a breakthrough between 1999, 2003, and 2007 because you had Obasanjo, who was deliberately encouraging women by bringing them on board. And I think, yes, a time like that, not just Okonjo, not just her. At the federal level, you have this woman now, Obi. You have a woman, was it Ete, at the stock exchange? Even Then even at FIRSC, FIRS, that woman. That was when you had her there, Soludo, CBN, and this woman. Yes, exactly. So you had them, and they were really, giving quality representation to women. And so it wasn't about. And look at how Dora, look at how Dora actually changed the system. The system of perception management for government. So when you have, if they can't come in through these process, but we can encourage them. After the encouragement and the platform is given, if they can't project from there, if they can't fly from there, maybe that is why we're having these issues. If most of these people, if they have gone back to their state, take for example, and they participate in the process and they are backed, maybe by now, would have gotten. But they have tried. I think Anambra has fared well in that. You have Stella too. She was there.
Yes, Stella was there
at the time she contested, and you need to play. She played the game like a man. So I think it is the process itself. If we can reform our process, more women will be able to participate.
Northeast to seeing women senators.
Yes. And Binani nearly, scaled through Ben. Try that.
That was the first person.
Yeah.
Senator Kairat
Kairat is.
Then you have, is it Bintu also?
Northeast. Northeast produced like 3 of them now.
Yeah.
In the last few years.
Yeah.
The one who almost became governor.
Yeah, Binani.
What's her name? The one there before Binani was also a woman.
I think, was it Binta?
Binta,
or something,
Binta too. Also from Adamawa.
Adamawa also felt very well.
Look at Northwest. No woman has even come close.
It is the cultural perspective there.
Yes, that's why it comes.
We should look at that.
Not even come close to a winning ticket of your party.
Yes.
Talk less of becoming.
It is the cultural. In every nation, the political system is built on the social system. If you look at our social structure, what are those norms, those factors at play? Culture is one of them. And you look at that area where you have that strong cultural, perspective to women participation. Northwest, they are not there at all. I remember, years back, we had a woman in Ondo State. Was it Kowan, that Kowan woman also? She was accusing the process and said, Why are they holding meeting at 12 midnight? The men, are they witches? So I think the process itself and the social factors, if we can address them, we should have more women participation in the process.
And also real speaker.
Yes, yes, Ocean. Say that. Yeah. That was because OBJ encouraged that too.
Yes, he was also OBJ's candidate.
So I think you can give it to him. He encouraged women a whole lot.
A lot.
Yes.
And he found good women.
Yes.
Good women.
Yes. Good hands.
People with capacity.
Good hands. Yes. You know? Yes. Not just women. The likes of Franco Ekiti. These guys grew under him. Good guys.
And Nadi Usman became senator from Kaduna.
Yeah.
You know, which is also in the northwest.
Yeah.
But of course, from the Christian-dominated part.
We had a woman deputy governor who deputized the Erufai, but
yes,
could not make it to the number one seat.
All right,
she's still deputy to the one who is there now.
It's a power game. So let's see what happened after this time. Maybe she will, become.
All right. One peculiar thing about Christmas is sharing of love and gifts. In that spirit, the Apex Igbo Socio-Cultural Group, Ohaneze Ndigbo, has asked the federal government to release the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, as a Christmas gift for the Southeast region. The Vice President of Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide, Damian Okeke Ogene, said anything short of Kanu's release meant the hope of the people of the Southeast has been dashed this Christmas. Jide, this is a big one.
Yes, but, someone like me, I've always demanded for a political solution to this matter. Kanu's matter will come up at the Supreme Court. Judgment will happen on the 15th of this month.
15th of December?
15th, yes, of this month.
So if the Supreme Court let him off the hook?
If the Supreme Court gives him, releases him, we expect that, if he wins the case, because the federal government appealed, he won at the level of the appeal court. Now if he wins again, that means he will...
Are you sure there are no other cases that they can latch on to say it's still being held after the Supreme Court judgment? You know the way these things are.
It's possible. It's possible. They do that.
There's still one case pending.
They do that a lot. They can even arrest him immediately after his release. They do that a lot. But I've always demanded for political solution because I believe that is the best. Kanu has to give up his armed struggle.
That's a condition.
That's a condition. Kanu has to renounce his Biafranship. If he agrees, I'm sure that the government would be ready to play ball. Let's face it. If any of the American states, any of those 50 states in America, decides that they are seceding, they will be resisted. They will be resisted. They are not going to do that. They do not even envisage that kind of thing can happen. So they will not want to release him without conditions. Even when they were pleading that he should be released to people like Mbazulike Amechi, the late First Republic minister, what he kept saying was that, look, he listens to me. I promise you that I'll be able to bring him under control. So there has to be, the government, President Tinubu would be open to releasing Kanu, but I know that he would want some guarantees that, look, this person that I'm releasing...
Julie, if the Supreme Court orders his release on the 15th,
yes,
they should just allow him to go.
Of course, because the Supreme
Without
Court...
the condition you've spoken about, those conditions, will he still have to sign down that thing?
I think that, let me put it this way, I think that Kanu, on his own, if he manages to get out of captivity through detention through the Supreme Court, he has to then, on his own, renounce his armed struggle. Because if he tries that again, they will pick him up a second time. So as far as that.
Well, I asked the question: if he has had to go through all of this, and at the end, he wins his case in court, do we not think that it will be better emboldened, having suffered for the cause in court? You know, strategy
and everything.
Strategy would demand that the government should not wait for Friday. The case is this Friday. Should not wait for Friday. Sit with this guy, talk to him. And of course, you should know if you have a good case, you know, if you have a bad case, you know. And being able to talk to him before Friday and have some understanding. If they wait till after the Supreme Court judgment and the guy gets the victory,
that might confer a kind of legitimacy.
I will be among those that will be shouting that should be, you know, there's no point again. If the court has released him, let's let him go. But if you want to get a good mileage from that, meet him before Friday, get what you can get from him, then it will be easy.
I think also that Kano has changed in the last few months.
Yeah.
Because when Eze Chukwemeka of Enugu Aguleri went to see him along with Ifeanyi Ubah, that was the point when he said, okay, I don't want to sit at home again. And he put it in writing that from now on, whether on Mondays when I'm taken to court or any other day at all,
he knows the impact on the economy of the place.
Do not sit at home again. He cancelled it. So, which is significant. Again, let me just add this. Again, about 2 weeks ago, his younger brother also went to see him. Even the DSS are now more accommodating.
Yep.
They're allowing the number of people that the courts said should be permitted to see him. DSS is now allowing them, you know, to see.
And you must have been of good behavior.
Yes,
that kind of
maybe we are
yes.
heading somewhere.
Yes.
I wouldn't,
Yes.
you know, some of these things, they keep these things. So now, during that meeting, he said he does not want violence, that nobody should fight at the days leading to his case in the Supreme Court. So he's preaching peace now. He's saying that he doesn't want his people to suffer. After all, you are fighting for them, so why should they suffer? So I want to believe that even Kanu, to a large extent, he is a changed person. And I want to see government make peace with him.
And with the activity of this guy in Finland or Poland, I think you need Kanu to come.
Okay.
Yes.
And finally, despite several attempts including an intervention by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, political impasse in Ondo State remains intractable. In the face of this, the convener of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, Edwin Clark, has told President Bola Tinubu to invoke the doctrine of necessity to resolve the impasse. In a letter to the president, the elder statesman commended him for intervening in the situation, but added that there is need to act fast as the crisis is causing more tension rather than abating.
You know, I was saying that I don't want to comment on the political side of this, you know, because of the different dynamics playing the state. But the elder statement is saying the obvious, especially with the different revelation coming out of the state. Unfortunately, I think Ekiti, for a person, his legacy, what it stands for over time, you know, he would also advocate for the same thing. I mean, the same thing that Clark is doing today. In 2009, 10, during the Yaradua debacle, the time of his own health issue too, he spoke out. Then he was the NBA president, and he spoke out vehemently in favor of Jonathan, being sworn in as the acting president in the absence of Musa Yaradua around in the country. So I think he also took the same part. If he had been here on his seat today. However, I'm very careful in approaching this. Why? I'm a living example here. When I was sick, I was down from 97 kg to maybe 63 or thereabout. They say in my own language that so I'm very careful, knowing well that I passed through, a stage, and God brought me back here. So I'm also hoping that it comes back. However, the state cannot suffer endlessly in his absence. While we are praying, it is my prayer that the man will come back in good time. Why? He needs to see the kind of rot, being perpetuated in his name, in his absence, by his most trusted hands. However, before he comes back, which I'm praying for as a person, it will validate a lot of things that we have done recently. I think the state needs to enjoy dividends of democracy, and there's no way that will happen except you have a chairman of council in place. See, there are some things that can't be signed except by the chairman of council or not even the vice chairman.
But they've been talking about the forgery of signature.
Let's know. Okay, you want us to discuss that?
We discussed it yesterday. It was on the show yesterday. We were talking
yes,
about it.
we were part of that process. It was a messy thing. It didn't start today, and it started. See, there are some signatures dated back September that are forged. They went through forensic examination and they failed woefully. And I've listened to some actors saying that, only the governor can confirm that his signature is forged. Who is saying that? When we know obviously, yes, he has been signing over time.
Do you know? Signature looks like
yes. Do you? Everybody
can confirm.
Yes. Do you know how many of them will pass through the examination process? Do you know how many of them? And a lot of them failed. We traced it as far back as September. And if this is happening, one thing is simple. That means the governor is not able to sign, or they are doing this thing behind him, hoping that he will not find out. But as far as now is concerned, the state of health of the governor is not what I want to talk about, but it's not, very fit.
Do we need a doctrine of necessity for the acting governor, for the deputy governor to become acting governor? I thought this has been sorted constitutionally.
I'm looking at the constitution now. 2010, the amendment number 1. It says that in the event that the governor is unable or fails to, let me go up. In this section, the reference to the Executive Council of the state is a reference to the body of commissioners of the government of the state, howsoever called, established by the governor and charged with such responsibilities for the functions of government as governor may direct. And then under, it says, acting governor during temporary absence of governor. Whenever the governor is proceeding on vacation or is otherwise unable to discharge the functions of his office, he shall transmit a written declaration to the Speaker of the House of Assembly to that effect. And until he transmits to the Speaker of the House of Assembly a written declaration to the contrary, the deputy governor shall perform the functions of the governor as acting governor.
Yep.
So
a letter is required.
The governor, when traveling for
yes.
medical checkup,
yes,
is supposed to, and is unable to function as governor, is supposed to do a letter to the House to say for the deputy governor to take over. The Constitution says that
when it was going to join,
the Constitution now says that until it transmits a letter to the contrary, the deputy governor shall continue to function as the governor of the state. So there are things that should have been done that have not been done.
I think Ekiti transmitted a letter.
So let me,
when he came back to Oyo State.
Yeah,
he transmitted another letter.
Yes, let me explain this. So the Fox time also, he was not in circulation for quite some time, even before traveling. It was.
He had been ill since.
Yeah, after some hue and cry, that eventually they said the letter had been transmitted. But unfortunately, this time around, that is not done. And even since he came back in September, he has not been to the state. And I'm sure that it is not out of his own will. The Ekiti we know will want to come and do his job, but unfortunately he's not able to. And some even blame some actors around him for bringing him back, thinking that this man was not fit enough when they brought him back, that they only brought him back for their own selfish, for their own selfish political reasons, because they wanted to, do some few things that will confer, the advantage on them for the next election. See, the factors are quite many, but look at it. Interplay.
Let's quickly go for another break. Yeah. Come back, Kolawole. We'll be right back after this time.
In a world hungry for goodness, with a splash of golden terra oil, a mom can transform a frown into a smile. Make a lunch hour a happy hour. Change no thanks into yes please. Provide care when her nearest and dearest needs it most. And resolve family feuds without blowing a whistle. Providing tasty, nourishing family meals is all that matters. The world needs moms, because where there are moms, there is hope, happiness, and love. Golden Terra Oil, or pure love.
Be this. See me see trouble. So today, I said I should treat myself as salary just enter. I ordered my food and was looking forward to demolishing all the orishi.
Baby, for serving. Are they run?
Oh yeah, time to pay rich now.
Food where you never pay for.
Now here my card begin acting. Hey.
You know what?
You know what? Okay. After debiting me, it's like this one wants to find my trouble. Say premium dragging. Oh, because this card did not work.
Save yourself the embarrassment. Get a card that works with MoneyPoint's personal banking. Download the app, request for a card and have it delivered to you in 48 hours. Experience banking on point, because your money no go hang.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Journalist Hangout, and we're reaching you from Lagos, Nigeria. Judy, I want to look at this crisis, and the more it's allowed to fester, the more it degenerates.
Well, I expect the president again to intervene, especially now with forgery being brought into the whole picture. I don't think that the commissioner will come out and shout in the open that the document that is sent to the governor and was returned to him through the office of the SSG, the signature there was forged. I don't think he will make that claim if he wasn't sure of his facts. So the EFCC has those documents now. The EFCC has been informed. So the EFCC has to do its job. And its job is to verify that indeed documents are being forged, approvals are being forged, because the governor is incapacitated, he is not in position to exercise his duties as a governor. And as a deputy governor, you don't want him to do the job. You just a lame duck deputy governor. You know, that's the person who ordinarily should have been, if not because of the power, the greed for power that has typified this whole Ondo mess. The deputy will have been functioning.
APC as a party, I think they are complices from the national level to what is happening here.
Let me, thank God I'm here in my own name and not speaking for the organization.
They intervened. I blame the people in Ondo.
No. Let me explain the dynamics at play. It is about the next election. It is about who succeeds Akeredolu. The deputy governor, of course, would naturally want to succeed his boss. There are other serving cabinet members who want to. Now, the serving cabinet members who are close to the governor, of course, are trying to manage the situation in order not to confer the advantage of that edge on the deputy governor. If he becomes the acting governor, is in place, what is able to do, to make appointment, to get things to himself, and maybe may win the primaries. Now, they are not even the most powerful in this game. You also have actors outside the government who are also political, forces, those unit of forces in the political interplay of the state. And these guys also, they also want to contest election to be to succeed Akeredolu. And they think also that, these guys inside who are preventing Lucky from being sworn in as the acting governor, it is what they are doing will also help them. So if these forces had come out to speak against and to work against those internal forces, they wouldn't have been able to hold on this long. But for selfish political reasons, the internal and the external forces are working to muzzle the guy to ensure that it doesn't become, so that it doesn't have the advantage. Now, when the president also intervened, I think he left the state in limbo much more than he met it. Now, if you said the guy should sign an understanding, an undertaking that he is not going to touch the ESCO, the cabinet members, that he won't dissolve, that he will not touch the leadership of the House of Assembly, and that he was not going to touch the party structure and leadership. On what basis? Can he do that as a deputy governor who is not having any power? The answer is no. He can only do that if he is sworn in. So I think in the context of him being sworn in, that was why they said, okay, you can be sworn in and act, but don't do this. But you ask yourself that what exactly is the president preventing? He has access to security reports. He knows the state of health of Ekiti. He knows that the best thing to do at this point is to allow the law to take its place. I don't even want us to go through the doctrine of necessity, because it will confer that edge on Lucky. Get Ekiti somehow to transmit a letter to the House of Assembly so that you still confer that respect on Ekiti that he transmitted power. If you leave it to be done through doctrine of necessity, the danger is that Lucky will get there, and of course, he didn't get there by any transmission. So that won't be good for the process. The president should have done this in the first instance and saved the state. Even when the actors went back to the state and they were implementing different things entirely, they should have also been called to order by the president. Now see this dimension. We talk about certificate forgery. Recently, the speaker said he got correspondence from the governor, to swear in some caretaker, members for local government. I am aware that there is no signature that came. There is no letter that came from Ekiti for that process. So all of these things being done
our time is
after.
Jimmy, I will still hold the House of Assembly responsible for being at the center of this crisis.
Of course. And it's because the speaker too wants to benefit from the unfortunate. Yes.
It is politics.
He wants to be acting governor because of, like Friday Aderemi, many years back in Ekiti. He's already seen himself as somebody who could become acting governor. So he's playing his own game. And his colleagues, just the same way Aderemi was backed by his colleagues, his colleagues will want him to get there. That is what is happening. Ondo has become the pawn in the nasty political game that some political players are playing. This is what is happening. There is no need for this controversy. Somebody didn't this person go to school, Erufai, and it transmitted power to his deputy. It was his deputy that presented the budget.
Went to the House of Assembly,
the full complement of powers.
Acted as the governor throughout.
Yes. So what are we talking about? It's just this succession politics that they are playing. Everyone thinks that is in the best position to succeed Ekiti, and the man is ill. They are not praying for him to get well.
Honestly,
in fact, not praying for him to get.
See,
it's a very indecent thing that they are doing.
See, Maestro, the things they are doing with his name right now, it's. I wish the man would just come to see what the kind of crime they are committing with his name. With his name, those his most trusted hands, and you wonder, do they actually want the man to come back?
No, the EFCC.
Do they like him at all?
Thank you for your intervention, Kola.
No, you don't like a man and be doing what?
Of course, I agree.
My question is, did they even bring him back home to LA?
So many questions yet to be answered. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. Join us from 1:30 to 3:30 on Sunday for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. My name is Ayodele Uzubakumo. See you tomorrow.
Following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Do you struggle with having an active and healthy lifestyle due to your busy schedule? Do you find it's difficult to make it to the gym? You want to improve your overall health, but don't know where and how to start? Medical experts agree that walking, running, and jogging are amongst the best ways to stay fit and enjoy a great active and healthy lifestyle. What if there was a convenient and affordable way to improve your health, improve your mood, and lose weight right in your own home? Introducing the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill, the compact foldable treadmill that makes being active and losing weight fast and easy. Just unfold it and walk, jog, or run while you watch your favorite programs on TV. And when you're done, just fold it and store it away. Now that's convenience. The secret is its advanced design that houses a 1-horsepower motor that is twice the size of most treadmills, packed into a nice compact unit, powering every step you take. You get the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill System complete with a rugged commercial-grade ultra-durable traction belt, large LCD multifunctional display that displays speed, time, distance, calories, and has 12 different exercise programs, as well as a magnetic safety key for added security.